No, I'm not happy. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the halftime show with the score of the Browns 14-7 up on the Jaguars. A game that the Browns should be up 21-0. It's very irritating to watch Kevin Stefanski destroy the confidence of every player on this team. Now, God damn it, Amari Cooper knows better than to carry the ball like a loaf of bread. But, the more you beat these guys in the head about possessing the ball and we can't turn the ball over, the more it's going to happen. And I keep saying it week after week after week. And same comments, same coaching technique, same result. The Browns killing themselves. Here's something else that bothers me. You misreport an injury. Trevor Lawrence does not have a high ankle sprain. I've been saying it on Twitter all week long. He just doesn't. It was a lie, a prevarication. But I guess league rules don't, if you want to lie, you can lie unless they can catch you and prove it. Trevor Lawrence is not injured. He may have gotten something tweaked he thought was really bad. Maybe he's not the man of iron like they're trying to convince us that he is, but that something small felled him, and he was so scared that it was something worse. He pussied his way back to the locker room, and then suddenly 2 days later, it's like, it's gone. That's 2. 3, we're playing with no names. Now, somebody's going to have to explain to me, like I'm a 6-year-old, why Hickman is playing and why Halassi are in the game at the same time. Who got injured? I know Thornhill, who I don't care about because he's overrated, but I'm getting no explanations from the people announcing this game, but our lineup is full of, and Hudson the third jumping off sides twice. It's mistake after mistake after mistake. The interception by Flacco, in which a guy got rubbed out basically by the wrong thing happened on a pick play, and our receiver got picked, and the ball got thrown right to them. Every one of our mistakes happening at our end of the field, so they just go a short distance. And what we get in the turnovers is so deep in the territory that we can't convert it into points the other way. David, I understand that Ward's being out, but they're on the field at the same time. Hickman and Halassi are on the field at the same time. Why is Hickman on the field? And because I know that he's a third string guy. I don't have answers, Yeah, I call it, something. Once he catches it, once I'm sorry, once he catches the ball, he's good. Problem is catching the ball sometimes. That's why I was calling him out. Let's not forget. He leads the league's tight ends in drop passes. Let's not forget. Thank you. It's not their practice squad. It's their first string quarterback, and Ridley's out there. Now, Kirk isn't out there. I'll grant you that. But ATN is playing in the game, even though he was questionable. And they've gotten the turnovers in field position. We're lucky to be ahead at this point. But you look statistically at what's happening, the Browns are gaining all this yardage compared to them, and it still doesn't matter because they're going to keep making blunders. And I promise you there will be more in the second half because the more Stefanski talks about it, the more there are. And at what point do you start looking at maybe the players? No, but the way they're being coached, yes. At what point is it just name callings that, we can't afford to do that. You're Butterfingers guy, or whatever they might be saying to humiliate an athlete who does this. But every time I've seen something like this happen, it's got something to do with culture more than it does just with technique. So, and Myles Garrett shouldn't be playing. There are a lot of people asking in the chat room, what about Myles Garrett? He's not himself. I mean, he's trying to play one-armed, and it's a waste of time. And they're single teaming him. And, I don't know what there is for our team in the second half of this game because we're impotent. We are impotent in our running game. We are impotent in the deep passing game. It was a great first series like it was last week, but after that, it's been a struggle. A couple of big plays to Njoku, but that's really about it. There hasn't been any real progress, as far as the running game, nothing. I'm going to the box score right now because I feel like I should. 17-28 for 212 yards should result in more than 14 points, but the interception definitely killed us because we were at least going to get a field goal out of that. And Trevor Lawrence is at 50%, and they'll use his fake injury as an excuse. And he's been sacked twice. ATN had one 16-yard run, and for the rest of the game, he's averaging 2.5 yards a carry. But look at us, only 54 yards on the ground, but we've only run the ball 10 times versus 28 by the air. This is your offensive coordinator, who you all think is a coach of the year. I get tired of people defending losers, and he would be one. Njoku's up to 91 yards. He only dropped one pass, and it was good that he did. It was a screen pass that was ill-advised. Tillman had the one catch and nothing after that. David Bell was open, but Flacco threw the ball into the ground. Amari Cooper has 5 catches, but he dumped a ball that he had no business dumping to the ground. So there you have that. That's basically what I can tell you about that. As far as what the Browns need to do, first of all, they need to get the first stop in the second half because, as always, we lost the coin toss. Can't even do that right. If you tell me that there's a 50-50 chance, not for the Browns, for everybody else in the cosmos, not for the Browns. Now, if you stop them, you've got to start establishing something on the ground. And you've got to keep them off balance, because if you're just dropping Flacco back and they're dropping a bunch of people off to cover a bunch of slow receivers, the only thing you're going to find little screen passes, little dinky things like that, where you're trying to go for yard after catch. You've got to start establishing a run game. But the problem is James Hudson III is a bad backup, and we just don't have, with our center Posich now out and gone, and they probably will say, well, we were just playing it safe, and he'll be out for 3 weeks like Denzel Ward, who has a nameless shoulder injury. One guy they make up an injury about and say he has a high ankle sprain, and our guy just, he's going to play. And then all of a sudden, he's not going to play, and it just says shoulder. What the fuck's wrong with his shoulder? We went through this with fucking Deshaun Watson already. We need new doctors. We need a new organization. We need a new owner. For God's sakes, there's something wrong. Something's really fucked up about this. I don't know. And I think Flacco, with the exception of the interception, and that was strictly a timing pattern, surprised the guy who intercepted it as much as anybody on the field, but it was an ill-timed thing because we were moving the football. And this is what it boils down to. Hance is down to the third string guy. Myles Garrett can't do anything. It's just, and nor because he has a real injury and he's trying to play through it. But, Jay, I'll tell you this. If he doesn't keep playing, it won't get better because they'll misdiagnose him. The Browns players are the slowest healing players in the league. Haven't you noticed? Something's not right. I don't know. Very strange. All I can tell you is this. Get a stop and then run the football and try to beat them with an occasional play action pass. There can be no play action unless there's a running game. And the thing is, again, like we keep saying week after week with the offensive coordinator, that, Ford is actually averaging per carry in this game over 7 yards a carry. Now, granted, one of them was a 26-yard run, but if you don't give him a chance, he's never going to do it, is he? We just ignore statistical, logical things, and we just fall into this trap where we're the team that's behind, and we're panicking and throwing on every play. We need an offensive coordinator. We need an offensive coordinator. We need an offensive coordinator. I can't put it any more clearly than that. Week after week, this shit happens. We keep talking about establishing the run, and it's nowhere to be found. We end up passing 3-1. I've said what I have to say. I'm going back to watch the second half of the game. Let's hope the Browns can stop making mistakes and somehow pull this one out. I will see you after the game. Until then, hasta la vista, Pasture Heads. See you after the game.